Hey, Ryan here, Triathlon.com. We're going to kick off the live video here. Had some technical difficulties, but I think we're all good to go. You see everything in the background. I'm Ryan, Triathlon.com, as I mentioned. I've done IRONMAN Chattanooga 4 times, and I am here to talk about what your training load should look like about 2 months out from race day. Here we are. Time of the actual live recording is beginning of August, so we're about 2 months-ish away from race day. So with IRONMAN Chattanooga, it's going strong. They believe last year was the last year that they were partnered with Little Debbie, so unfortunately no Little Debbie snack cakes floating around. Maybe this time, maybe they'll be there in 10, I don't know. But hey, we're here to focus on your training plan and what you should be doing at this point in time. So with this live video, you can put any comments that you've got. See them live if you got any comments there, or if you see it later, ask questions in the comments, either Facebook, YouTube, wherever you're watching this, and I will get back to you with any questions you might have. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up 2 plans that I have made specifically for IRONMAN Chattanooga. On the left is for an advanced athlete, on the right is more for the beginner type athlete. Maybe you've never done an Ironman, maybe done a half Ironman, maybe you've never done a half Ironman. This beginner plan takes you from basically kind of very, maybe you run 3 to 4 miles and you bike maybe 45 to 60 minutes, and you swam maybe 500 to 1,000 meters or yards or something like that. So it takes you all the way up to race day, and they're both 24 weeks long. So about 2 months out, you're about the 16-week mark or something like that. So let's just start digging into the plans here a little bit. So on the advanced plan, because people are always asking, it's like, what should I be doing? What should my long ride be? What should my long run be? Where should I be at swimming? My volume, all this kind of good stuff. So I like to post these videos, especially event specific, because Chattanooga is very not as challenging on the swim. Last year was a PR by landslide for me as wetsuit legal, and as flow was pretty quick in the river. So really the swim isn't going to be the most challenging part of this race, but the bike course will keep you honest. It's not impossible. It's not super difficult, but it is rolling hills. They'll take it out if you're not ready for it. The run is where the real challenge comes. There's some monster hills on the run course. You hit them twice, and you go through and do a lollipop kind of loop. So you got to be ready for that run. If you're not ready for the bike, you're not going to be ready for the run. So it's very heavy bike centric. And like I said, it's not necessary to get you past a very super difficult bike course, but a very challenging bike course, and then have enough to do a very challenging run. So with that, if we look on the left here and look at my advanced plan, at this point in time, I've got you doing a couple 100-mile rides. This looks like to be the first, when I look at the plan, the first 100-mile ride, and then you do an 85 to 100. So basically, you are in the thick of it for your plan. At week 16, so about 2 months out, you're really getting in the long distance on the bike. The run, I got you about 18 miles, so I think the longest run for the advanced plan is about 20 miles, just give or take. And you might see that more than once. You probably see 18 miles more than once in the advanced plan. So this is kind of where I see you should be at. If you're an advanced athlete, you're going out there, you want to, beat your PR time, you want to crush it, you've done a few Ironmans, you really want to take it by the throat and really beat it to the ground and get out there and just have the best day possible. This is where you should kind of be at. You notice the swims are about 4K. You got a 3K swim and a 3K swim. But you start getting into like 3,500, 4,000 yards and meters, wherever you're doing for the swims. So those are going to be challenging. We got some long threshold runs, some long tempo runs, some good bike power intervals. So this week, you have about 20 hours, and this is the last build week before transition week. So this is really, you are really after it on this week. This is going to be a very heavy week. You want to make sure you get plenty of sleep, plenty of recovery, plenty of rest, plenty of stretching, plenty of proper nutrition outside of training, during training, hydration, all that kind of good stuff. Because you're really going to be out there, you're going to be working it hard. And like I said, you're looking at about 20-ish hours. And some of these, I call out a distance, so I estimate how much time it's going to be, so give or take. So you're looking at about 20 hours, and this is going to be one of your peak weeks. So swim distance about 10K, bike distance about 160 miles, run distance about 39, 40 miles. So again, this is for more of the advanced athlete, kind of where you should be at, and you should be, at the end of this week, you should be pretty wiped out, pretty taxed, and ready for kind of a transition week / recovery. I don't really call it a recovery week, but it's a little less load, a little less intensity, to give you your body an opportunity to adapt to all the training you just done, all the load you put on. We look on the opposite side here, we've got the beginner plan, which is nothing to sneeze at in itself. You're looking about an 85-mile ride. The next week you get into 100, so you're kind of ramping up a little bit later in your plan to getting in that 100-mile ride. You will have a 100-mile ride in this plan. Let's see, we got an 85 and then another 100-mile. And like I said, with this course, I put in 200-mile rides, especially for IRONMAN Chattanooga, because you're really going to be challenged on that run. So I want you ready on the bike, and the only way to get ready for a long bike ride for 114 actually miles on the bike in the countryside and rolling hills is to ride your bike in training. So you got an 85-mile ride here and a 15-mile run. So notice there is a little bit of a subtle difference in volume. I do have kind of different power workouts on the bike set up during the week at different times. Notice there's a little less, I don't do as much as the threshold intensity stuff and beginner plans, just because if you're not used to doing that kind of thing, you're not advanced, you haven't done volume in the past, I don't want to get you out there in a big week and then run you into the ground and then have you do threshold intervals, because unfortunately that's a good way to get injured or make yourself super sore, and then the rest of the week is kind of spent. So these are a little less intense on that side. I've got more strength work, more hill work and stuff like that on the run, instead of less intensity on the runs. So it's a little bit of a trade-off. If you're doing the beginner plan, you're about 18 hours for the week, about 9K swimming, 140 miles biking, and 33 miles running. So really between the beginner and the advanced plan, there's not a huge amount of difference in the total volume, but when you're looking at how we're slicing up the workouts and how you get the workout in, your advanced plan is going to be a lot more intense, a lot more load, and the beginner plan is a little bit more volume based, just to get you that base to be able to go out there and finish the distance, especially if you're maybe coming from a non-triathlon background whatsoever. So we went through the plans. Advanced on the left, beginner on the right. These are my kind of, like I said, these are the plans that I've created in Training Peaks specifically for IRONMAN Chattanooga based on different fitness levels. So if you're an athlete and you're in between, I have an intermediate plan. If you are still, hopefully you're not still looking for a plan 2 months out from Chattanooga. If you are, if you got questions, get with me. I do Training Peaks, I do Triathlon. Really getting into Triathlon these days, especially if you're kind of muddling through your own plan and you're just not feeling like you're doing what you should be, but you've been doing something, but you want to make sure you sharpen that sword and really get the most out of it. Triathlon's a great tool to jump right into, especially if you're not really working with a plan per se that you've got from start to finish. If you're just kind of doing it on your own, winging it, I think Triathlon's a good option to come in there. And especially being a coach in Triathlon, I can help bring you along. So if you got questions about that, let me know, and we can definitely set up a call or something like that. But then you just want to buy a plan off the street, off the Training Peaks marketplace, I got that, got it covered there as well. If you have any questions on these plans or anything, just let me know. Again, 2 months out, IRONMAN Chattanooga. Background on my screen, this is kind of where you should be at. Kind of, instead of asking on Facebook, because you're going to get a million different answers. If you want someone that's done the course 4 times, done 12 Ironman races altogether. I've been coaching since 2012. Coached tons of athletes from beginner to advanced to first timers, everything IRONMAN Chattanooga. So this is kind of where you should be at, and like I said, this is kind of my professional take on the volume and load and everything you should be looking at. So if you got any questions, again, put them in the comments. Facebook, YouTube, wherever you're seeing this, I'll get back and get answers to those questions if I can. Let me know if you need help or assistance in your training or anything like that. Give a like, subscribe on YouTube, all that kind of good fun stuff to get notifications of future videos I do either about Chattanooga or other race courses or other training tips in general. Hopefully this helped you out. And with that, we're going to wrap it up, and we'll see you in the next video.